I hope you're having a great day and I hope you're staying safe at home. Well, today I want to talk about vitamin A, and a lot of you have already been messaging me asking me the best quality supplement for vitamin A, the best foods that are rich in vitamin A. Yes, vitamin A is a vitamin that is necessary for human health, for the functioning of your thyroid gland, your eyes, a lot. But I'm not talking about that vitamin A today. I'm talking about vitamin A, which everyone needs in their life right now and always. I'm talking about A for acceptance. The reason why I decided to talk about acceptance today is because we need to understand we've reached a point in our world where we have diets, we have doctors, we have medicine, we have technology, we have counselors, we have skin doctors, we have hair doctors, we have everything. Maybe not at lockdown right now, but we do. But yet, people are sicker, people are fatter, people are more depressed, more suicidal, more relationship issues, more divorces, more rapes, more hatred, more violence, everything. What is wrong? Why are people struggling? Why do people struggle to come out of diseases? Like, we have 10 people who get the same disease, 8 of them recover, 2 people don't. Why? When you have the same disease, everything is the same, the treatment is the same, the doctors are the same cycles of chemotherapy. Why is it that everyone has a different outcome? One is obviously because we're different people. 2 is many people run an entire life staying stuck in victim mode. Okay, life's not dealt you a great hand. You've not gotten what you've wished for. You studied hard, but you didn't get those grades. You worked hard, but you didn't get those promotions. You ate well, you exercised, but you still got sick. Okay, you were good in your relationships, but you got betrayed. Well, guess what? It happens to everyone. And what I'm trying to teach people is they immediately go into a victim mode. Why me when I did everything right? Why me when I obeyed my parents and I did everything right? I listened to my teachers, I listened to my doctors, I still got sick, I still got low grades. Why me? Well, the solution is the power of acceptance. And when we understand the power of this word today, and I'm going to take a little bit of time, I've actually made a whole list based on experience with people, with young children, teenagers, patients with 4th stage cancer. You know, when people talk about peace, I love about people say, I want peace in my life. I want freedom in my life. Well, everything is available for that peace and that freedom. But we remain our own prisoners because we're not willing to pull down the walls that we've built within us. Everyone thinks peace and freedom comes to us externally. Okay, well, India got its independence, but do we feel free? A lot of countries got their independence, but do we still feel free with all the crime that's happening, corruption, or whatever it is? Freedom and peace is not from outside. Yes, it is an external circumstance that can drive it, but you can have all the freedom and peace around you. But inside of you, if you're still locked into your own prison, you can never realize true freedom and true peace. So power of acceptance, again, when it comes to disease, people get struck down. They never accept that the disease I have is real. They're like, why me? It shouldn't happen to me. I did so and so. Understood. No one's here to take away from your pain. It shouldn't have happened to anyone, but it has happened to you. Now you need to accept it so that you can move on. Well, I'll tell you what the obstacles of acceptance are. And when you learn the power of acceptance, your life is going to blossom. It doesn't matter whether you're locked down at home, whether you have a virus outside, whether the economy is falling. This is falling for everyone. But yet, there are some people who are very stressed and some people who are happy. They're enjoying everything. They're going through the same thing as everyone. But why 2 different outcomes? Why one population of people going through stress, anxiety, fear, and overeating and emotional, they're emotionally down, and one set of people are completely happy. They're going with the flow. They're enjoying their life. They're making the most of everything that's happening around them. Comes down to vitamin A, the power of acceptance. Number 1, understand what acceptance is. Acceptance doesn't mean that you failed. Acceptance doesn't mean that you're forcing yourself to agree. Acceptance doesn't mean that you've resigned from the fact that nothing can work from you. Acceptance doesn't make you weak. It doesn't mean you're a weak person if you accept. It doesn't mean that you're powerless. In fact, you have more power when you're able to flow with life and when you're able to accept. It doesn't mean disagreement. Acceptance just means that you're tired of resisting and you don't want to resist anymore because it's not getting you anything. Acceptance means that you actually start telling the truth. A lot of people out there expect people to behave the way they want them. Sometimes you need to walk up to that person and just tell them truthfully that this hurts me. I don't like this. You know how many relationships we come across with where the wife is expecting the husband to behave in a particular way, and the husband is expecting the wife to behave in a particular way. Forget about husband and wives, boyfriends, girlfriends, boyfriends, doesn't matter. You know, you're expecting someone else to behave in a way that you want them. How does that person know what you expect if you don't tell them? Okay, a lot of things around acceptance comes where you need to start telling the truth about what you really want, what troubles you, what makes you happy. A lot of women out there and men expect their partners to know what makes them happy. It's not their job. It's not their job to know what makes you happy. They can know a few things. But just because you're married or you label your relationship as intimate or girlfriend, boyfriend, girlfriend, it doesn't mean that your partner has to know everything that you like or you don't like. So you assume, and when it doesn't happen your way, you get angry or you feel hurt or you tell people that you don't understand me, and then you start looking outwards for your friends' opinions and everyone judges your partner and you never solve a problem. Part of acceptance is telling the truth that this is me, I don't like it. Okay, it may make you seem a little bit bad when you really express your feelings, because life has only taught us to express things that are okay with society, things which are cool, things which are normal. But a lot of humans would like to express a lot more, but they're scared to. They're scared to because it's not normal. They don't want to be judged. A man doesn't want to express thinking that he doesn't want to be weak in the eyes of his partner. A woman doesn't want to express to his man because she'll appear to be weak in his eyes. And all of this keeps us in that little prison that I spoke to you about. So acceptance is also about waking up one day and telling the truth about how you want things to do, how you want things to be, whether it's your boss, whether it's like when you resign from a company, it doesn't mean that you couldn't keep up with it. It's just that you've come to the level of acceptance that this doesn't make me happy anymore. Okay, I can't get promoted, people don't value me. Accept it and move on. But you still stay in that little prison expecting everything to change around you. Acceptance is allowing things to be the way they are right now. You can wish for it to be better at a later stage, but right now, all you can do is allow it to be the way you want it to be. So everyone is trying to be in control. We want everything to work the way we want to. But let me tell you, life doesn't work that way. Right now, you got to change that mind pattern. We got to flow. Look around you. Everything in nature flows without resistance. There's wind on a tree, the tree will bend, it will come back up, it will bend, it won't resist the wind, it will move with the flow. We are products of nature, we are designed to flow, but human beings have built our own obstacles. We've built our own obstacles, but what if this happens? Why should this person say this? I won't tolerate this. I am wealthy, I'm rich, my bank balance is so much, no one can disrespect me. How dare my servant leaves me at this time when I have a party tonight? How dare this happens, how dare that happens? These are our obstacles that we've built, and they become an obstacle to the flow of life. We have interrupted a natural flow of life. Of course, we want certain things to be in control so that life has a particular routine and there's no chaos. But I'm talking about the things that sometimes irritate you or is out of control, or you're chasing it and it's not happening. Sometimes you gotta back off. Or that relationship that you're constantly trying to change and you're labeled as a nagging partner or whatever it is. You're nagging and you're going on with the nagging. It's not solved your problem 5 years ago. It's not going to solve your problem in the next 5 years. In cases like this, you got to back off sometimes. You got to let everything flow. And you always have a choice. You can choose to flow with it or you can choose to move away from that flow. But you got to accept at some point that whatever you resist will constantly persist. This is with disease as well. You get struck down with type 2 diabetes or cancer or whatever. It's unfortunate. But now, what can you do about it? Okay, it's happened to you. There's nothing you can do to change your past or change your poor lifestyle. But what you can do is move into an action plan of what I can do. And believe me, there is a lot that you can do. Acceptance creates peace. And why do we need that peace? When you accept, you create a moment or a phase of peace in your life. It is in that peace or in that calm that you can actually look for other opportunities. But when you're so stuck up in resisting, you miss everything outside of your own dark world. You're just focused. Everything's become your world. My partner's this way. My boss is this way. My disease is this way. That's become your new world. But there's a whole world beyond that. And when you learn to accept, it opens up those doors for you to look for opportunity. To look for things that you can appreciate in your life. There are some good things that's happening in everyone's life. But now you can see those good things. But when you're in your own dark world, you can't see those things. And that's exactly why your world continues to be dark. So acceptance brings peace. It allows for flow of energy. In your own contained world, energy will stay only in your own contained world. But when you open it up, because you've accepted, you stop resisting, your life starts flowing. You start moving with a flow. You don't know where it's going to take you, but you flow. And you see opportunities, okay? It's like I'm in a river right now, okay, and the river's moving downstream, but I don't want to go with the flow, so I'm holding on to a rock, and I'm in the same place I am. Nothing's changing, but I say, let me move with the flow, and I allow myself to flow. I can look on my left, there's opportunity. I can look on my right, there's goodness, there's opportunity, and I'm moving. I'm not stuck. And that is why acceptance is so important for you. You allow manifestation to happen. If you don't allow acceptance in your life, you cannot manifest anything. You can do visualization, you can force yourself to practice the secret and stuff like that, but you got to be in a dimension of flow, in a dimension of acceptance that right now, my relationship is toxic, something's going on, my job isn't the best, flow with it. But the moment you start trying to put in action, you're resisting. Let me bitch to 10 people about my relationship. Let me bitch to 10 people about my boss. Is that solving your problem? The answer is no. You're not flowing, you're resisting. There can be no change that happens in your life. So what we need to understand is when we start accepting, we can move from trying to be happy to being happy. There are too many people out there who are just trying to be happy every day. You can't try to be happy. It's a physiological state that exists within you. But when you move to acceptance, you learn how to be happy, irrespective of what is happening. Otherwise, you have to try to be happy all the time, as long as you're trying to, you're not accepting and you're holding on and you're resisting. Human beings have to understand at this point in life, we create our own sufferings. You may say, Luke, that's wrong. This person has caused my suffering for me. This disease has brought suffering. Agreed. But now you create it. You stay attached to your pain. You stay attached to your anger. You stay attached to your unforgiveness, all your negativity. And because you're attached to that, what world does it create for you inside? A world of pain, hatred, unforgiveness, negativity, nothing. You gotta then try to be happy. Oh, let me drink some alcohol. Let me smoke some drugs. Let me go socialize. I'll be happy for 3 hours and I'll come back to my dark world of misery. Because we've created our suffering and we stayed attached to it. Now someone else may create that suffering for you, but the choice is whether you want to stay attached to it or not. Now you may be saying, oh Luke, this is all easy to say. Yes, it is easy to say, and it is very difficult to do. But it doesn't mean you stop doing it. It doesn't mean you don't do it. There are many things in life which are difficult, and just because it's difficult, it doesn't mean you give up. That's what makes you the loser. That's what makes your losing attitude grow more and more. You stay attached to your misery and you have misery in your life. You stay attached to sadness, you have sadness in life. Guess what? You stay attached to happiness, joy, bliss, love, irrespective of the shit that's going on in your life. That's the world you create for yourself. It's as simple as that. Another thing is people always, it's all about, people think how things should be. How things should be is the only thing that exists in your mind. Like, my partner should be this way. My boss should be this way. I deserve this salary. Whatever should be is only existing in our mind. But let me tell you, life doesn't have to be that way. Life doesn't have to work according to what your mind is, according to what you think should be. It's not about what should be. It's about what could be. So the moment you started filling your mind, okay, because of what you absorbed from society, that this is the way life should be. In my 30s or 40s, I should have 2 luxury cars, I should have a fancy handbag, I should have a Rolex watch, I should be invited to the best parties and stuff. That's what should be in your mind, but it doesn't have to be. But because you hold on to what should be in your mind, what is the outcome when it doesn't happen that way? Misery, anger, victim mode, people don't like me, I'm not good enough, low self-worth, and all of that stuff. You got to accept that we would all like to think of how life should be. But we need to change that word from should to could. How could life be? How could this relationship be if my partner was like this, if I was like this? How could my health become if I do this? If I start eating this way, if I start exercising, how could my finances increase if I could do this? If I could change my job? But when it's a should attitude and it doesn't happen, that's when people fall in victim mode and they think everyone is out there to get them. You got to change from should to could, and that happens when you accept. So acceptance comes with belief, faith, and surrender. Okay, if I'm going to accept something really bad in my life right now, I'm going to accept it with belief and faith that it's going to be beautiful for me, and then I'm going to surrender. How, when, who's going to make it happen is not my concern in acceptance. If you're trying to still figure that out, you're still trying to control. You've not accepted. When you accept with belief and faith that something good is going to come out of this, and then you surrender. You don't think about it every single day, or you're still in control. You haven't accepted. You can't say, I'm going to accept this person, and tomorrow you wake up and this person is troubling you and you're feeling low and you've not accepted that person. When you accept that person, you accept everything that comes along with that person. You either accept or you either let go. A lot of people use their past experience, their childhood, their teenage years, their past to predict the future. Now think about it right now. How can you ever use your past to predict your future? If your past was bad, you are looking at your future with those spectacles of everything that happened bad in your past. You have to look at the present moment. You got to create your future based on what you want it to be, not on your past. If I have a pair of spectacles right now and they're dusty, I'm going to see a distorted vision of you. But if I clean the glasses, my perception of you completely changes. I could think that you had a dirty face, but what was dirty were my eyeglasses. So we need to stop looking and predicting the future based on our past. The past is gone. It serves you no purpose at all. You need to change those spectacles and start looking at the world with new spectacles, with new filters, with a new thought process, with a new mind pattern which is not controlled by the past, which is why you have to learn to disconnect your past from the future. Yes, you can learn from your past, but you don't look at life through those filters. You learn from it, but you look at life from a completely different perspective. So we have to stay open to flowing in life. Acceptance revolves around a few ground rules. Remember, life isn't as it should be. Life doesn't have to be the way you want it to be. Everyone out there who are addicted to movies and everything, please understand your subconscious mind sooner or later begins to make you believe how life should really look. But we all know that's not the real life. That's a virtual world. But that's why you fill your mind with so many things that makes your subconscious mind believe that my world should be this way. My world has to be socializing. I can't live without socializing. That's a lie right now. So many people out there are living without socializing and they're managing it. They're adapting. They're doing just fine. So you have to stay open to flowing with life. So one is, life is as it should be. Right now, whatever is happening in your life is happening. It is happening. You can't change that. Decide to flow with it. Decide to make an action plan of how you could make it better or how it could be. But staying stuck in a victim mode is not going to solve your problem. The more negative you have in your life, the more negative thoughts and experiences, always ask yourself, it could be worse than this. It could be worse than this. That's a motivating factor for you to say, get up, stop wallowing in your self-pity and move on. Move on. But because you're wallowing in that, it's only getting deeper and deeper. But things could be worse. The next thing is, whatever is meant to happen is going to happen. It doesn't matter who you are, whether you're the CEO, whether you have $1 billion in your bank account, whether you work for charity, it doesn't matter. Whatever is meant to happen will happen. Now what you do about it is where you should put your energy. But whatever is meant to happen will happen. Crying over spilt milk, the past is useless. Like I said, it serves you no process. Life will never be the way you always want it to be. People will never say the things that you want to hear. So you have to start understanding that. Life doesn't have to give you what you want. It's great if it does. Sometimes it will give you what you want and sometimes it won't. You have to be okay with both of them. You can't just be okay with the good part of life. You got to be okay with the bad part. For that, you have to accept. I had great days. Now I'm going through a loss. I had great health. Now I'm going through a health condition. Acceptance. What can I do to get better? What can I do to get better? I'm having a bad relationship. What could it be? What could it be that I can do or we can do to make it better? rather than resigning yourself to fate and resisting it and fighting it and bringing in ego and pride and useless words that create fights. That's not going to solve your problem. Flow with it for a while. I always tell my patients who come to me who have, marital issues and relationships problems and stuff, I just tell them, start doing the opposite, exact opposite of what you've been doing, which means stop getting irritated, start being different. When they expect you to be a particular way because you'll react, you'll be angry and shout, don't. Be this completely different person. Be this calm person, you don't react, and I'm guaranteed things will change. I'm not saying your relationship may get 100% better, but you're flowing with whatever is going on in your life, and something is bound to change. You have to flow to know what that change is going to be. And usually when you flow, it's only the good things that come up. Okay, so move out from victim mode to action. When you're a victim, there cannot be action. There cannot be change in your life, period. And all the groups out there who support their girlfriends and boyfriends and wives and husbands when they're going through stuff, understand that you can be there for them, you can support them, but you need to push them back onto track. They can't come running to you every time they have a problem in their relationship. They should go back and fix it at some point. They should take action or get out of it. But every time you give them more space to listen to them, they start being drawn outward towards a solution which will never solve their problems. They have to go back inside and solve the problem. So what's the solution? Simple. Make a list of everything in your life that is not going well for you. Okay? You may have 2, 3, 4, 5 things. I don't know what it is. Make a list of these things. And now, at the side of each of these points, what is it that you need to do to accept it? Toxic person. If I'm going to accept this person, this is what I need to do. If I can't, let go of the person. I'm in a toxic relationship. What can I do to make this better? Can I go and tell the truth about how I feel? Can I be a different person? Sometimes in acceptance and that peace that I said, we also see our own faults. Because a lot of us think the fault is never with us. It's always the other person. And sometimes when you flow with life, you begin to think that, shit, it's my anger that screwed it up. Yeah, that person is still at fault, but I am at fault as well. It's my ego that screwed it up. So in flowing, you also learn your truth. In peace, you also see your flaws. It's not always the other person's. It takes 2 hands to clap always for a problem. Always for a problem. So make a list, and at the side of every one of these points, what do I need to do to accept this person? And then you slowly start doing it. One step at a time. And like I said, you have a choice. No one's forcing you to accept. If you can't, your other choice is let go. If you're not willing to make a choice of acceptance and let go, then the problem is with you, not with the other person. Everyone has a choice. Stop blaming other people all the time. They will not fix your problem. You have that choice to change it. You have that choice. Learn to meditate. Learn to expect better in life. Most people wake up that shit, my husband's going to be like this. Shit, my wife, I got to see her face today. Your life's going to be like, learn to expect things to change. When you flow, you see that everything changes in life. And then you learn to live your life with awe, with wonder, and with curiosity. The people who are able to live their life with awe, wonder, and curiosity are the happiest people. The other people think they're smarter than life, and they made their own obstacles that, oh, my day will go like this, and when this happens, I'll do this. You can't control the flow of life. You don't even know what's going to happen in the next second or the next minute. So what gives you the right to think that you can control everything? So when you learn to flow, everything in your life is going to change. The first thing that's going to change is you. And everything begins with you. You can't change another person. You got to change yourself first. And like I said, you have a choice. If you can't choose between acceptance and letting go, now that is your problem. Stop blaming everyone around you. No one has asked you to stay in a toxic job. No one has asked you to stay in a toxic relationship. No one has asked you to stay sick. No one has. You got to make that choice, accept that, yeah, I'm a lazy person. That's why I don't exercise. Accept it. Now you've accepted it. What can I do next not to be lazy? But you don't want to accept. You want to show society I'm not a lazy person. So you build this whole facade to show society what they want to see. But who's suffering? You. Okay, you may be a very angry person. There's nothing wrong to admit that. You are an angry person. And because you accept it, you can do something about it. You may be an envious person. You can do something about it now because you've accepted it. You may be a really poor employee thinking that you should get a salary raise. But guess what? You are a poor employee. Accept it so you can do something about it and become a better employee and get more money. But when we don't accept, what do we lean towards? Complain, blame, constant whining, constantly putting people down, moving to extremes, be it feminism, be it masculinity, whatever it is, you move to extremes because you're not willing to accept what is and what should be. So the power of acceptance is so important when it comes to your health. Okay, instead of complaining, looking for superfoods and all of that crap, when you reflect, you will find why you got sick. You will find why you can't lose weight. You will find why your hair is falling. And then accept those facts. If it is a toxic job, accept the fact. You can't change the root cause of your problem. Accept it. At least you'll start moving in a direction of either changing your job or accepting it so it no longer becomes toxic for you. Have a great day, everyone. Until next time, eat smart, move more, sleep right, and breathe deep.